Welcome to our channel. Today, we're bringing you an exciting look at HD Old Coins 51, a collection of fascinating, historic coins that showcase incredible artistry and craftsmanship. Each coin has a unique story, connecting us to a bygone era and preserving the rich heritage of the past. Whether you're a passionate collector or just curious about these rare treasures, this video will take you on a journey through history. Let's explore the beauty, value, and significance of these remarkable coins. Top 1. The story of the 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower dollar is one that blends patriotism, history, and numismatic fascination into a single coin. It is more than just a piece of metal. It is a tribute to the 200th anniversary of American independence. The year 1976 was a momentous occasion for the United States, and the nation celebrated in a grand manner. From the streets of Washington, D.C., to small towns across America, fireworks lit up the skies, parades marched through the streets, and a sense of unity filled the air. Among the many tributes to the bicentennial, one of the most enduring was the specially designed Eisenhower dollar. To understand the importance of this commemorative coin, we must go back to its origins. The Eisenhower dollar itself was first introduced in 1971, marking the return of a large-sized dollar coin after a long absence. It was named after Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States and a respected World War II general. His leadership and impact on the nation were undeniable, and when he passed away in 1969, Congress sought a fitting way to honor his legacy. At the same time, the U.S. had not issued a dollar coin since the peace dollar ended in 1935, leaving a void in American coinage. But the Eisenhower dollar's story took an exciting turn when the nation prepared to celebrate 200 years of independence. Congress and the U.S. Mint saw an opportunity to create something special, a one-time-only bicentennial design that would forever commemorate America's journey from its founding in 1776 to the modern era of 1976. The decision was made to redesign the reverse of the Eisenhower dollar, as well as the Washington quarter and Kennedy half dollar, with a special patriotic theme. These coins would bear a dual date, 1776 to 1976, rather than a single year, emphasizing the historical significance of the occasion. In early 1974, the U.S. Mint launched a public competition, inviting talented artists to submit their designs for the bicentennial coins. The goal was to create something that would symbolize the spirit of America's independence and achievements. After careful consideration, the winning design for the Eisenhower dollar was chosen, a bold and inspiring image of the Liberty Bell superimposed over the surface of the moon. The designer behind this artwork was Dennis R. Williams, a young artist who captured the imagination of the judges with his creative and symbolic approach. This design was more than just a visual tribute. It carried a deep meaning. The Liberty Bell, housed in Philadelphia, had long been a symbol of American freedom. It rang out when the Declaration of Independence was first read to the public in 1776, and over the years, it had come to represent the enduring ideals of liberty and democracy. Meanwhile, the inclusion of the moon on the coin's reverse was a nod to America's space exploration achievements, particularly the Apollo 11 moon landing in 1969. By combining the old and the new, this design encapsulated 2 centuries of American progress, from the birth of a nation to its ventures beyond Earth's atmosphere. The obverse of the coin, however, remained the same, featuring the familiar portrait of Dwight D. Eisenhower, designed by Frank Gasparo. His depiction of Eisenhower was based on official presidential portraits and military photographs, presenting the former president with a dignified and strong presence. Above his image, the words "Liberty" stood prominently, with the motto "In God We Trust" placed just below. Unlike previous years, the bicentennial version bore the dual date 1776 to 1976 instead of a single minting year. The minting process of the 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower dollar was a massive operation. The U.S. Mint struck these coins in 3 different locations: the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark; the Denver Mint, D mint mark; and the San Francisco Mint, S mint mark. Each facility produced both circulation and collector versions of the coin. While the Philadelphia and Denver Mints struck the standard copper-nickel-clad versions, the San Francisco Mint was responsible for creating the highly sought-after 40% silver bicentennial dollars, sold in special collector sets. The mint also released these coins in two distinct finishes, uncirculated and proof. The uncirculated versions had a standard mint luster, while the proof coins, particularly the silver issues, were struck with extra care to create a mirror-like surface. These proof coins remain some of the most visually stunning examples of the bicentennial Eisenhower dollar. As these coins entered circulation, Americans embraced them as both a symbol of national pride and a collector's item. Unlike previous dollar coins, which often faced rejection in everyday commerce due to their large size, the bicentennial Eisenhower dollar was different. Its special design and patriotic significance made it an instant favorite among the public, even if its practical use remained limited. Over the years, the value of the 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower dollar has continued to captivate collectors. While many of these coins remain common in circulated condition, certain factors greatly influence their worth. Uncirculated and high-grade specimens, particularly those graded MS-65 or higher, command a premium in the market. Meanwhile, the 40% silver-proof versions are highly desirable, especially those with deep cameo contrast or flawless surfaces. Errors and varieties have also emerged, adding to the intrigue of this coin. Some double-die varieties, off-center strikes, and other minting anomalies have caught the attention of collectors, with some selling for significant sums at auction. Additionally, original government packaging for the silver collector sets increases the desirability of these coins. As time goes on, the 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower dollar remains a cherished relic of American history. It serves as a tangible reminder of America's bicentennial celebration, honoring both its founding principles and its modern achievements. Whether found in an old drawer, passed down through generations, or carefully stored in a collector's album, this coin continues to tell a story, one of freedom, progress, and national pride. For those lucky enough to own one, the question remains, what is its value today? That depends on condition, variety, and composition. But one thing is certain. Its historical and numismatic significance make it a truly priceless piece of America's past. Top 2. The 1977 Eisenhower dollar is a coin that stands at the crossroads of American numismatic history. It was part of the final chapter in the series of large-sized dollar coins that had been reintroduced in 1971, marking the end of an era before the United States transitioned to a smaller dollar coin. While often overshadowed by its silver-clad predecessors and the special bicentennial edition of 1976, the 1977 Eisenhower dollar carries its own unique story, one filled with political decisions, economic shifts, and an evolving perspective on the use of dollar coins in everyday transactions. To truly understand the significance of the 1977 Eisenhower dollar, we must look back at the origins of the series. The Eisenhower dollar was first introduced in 1971 as a tribute to the late President Dwight D. Eisenhower, one of the most revered figures in American history. Eisenhower was a five-star general during World War II and played a crucial role in the Allied victory. His leadership extended beyond the battlefield, as he later became the 34th President of the United States, serving two terms from 1953 to 1961. By the time Eisenhower passed away in 1969, Congress sought to honor his legacy with a coin that would bear his likeness. At the same time, the United States had not issued a large dollar coin since the peace dollar ended in 1935, and there was growing interest in reviving a coin of this denomination. However, the economic and political climate of the 1970s presented significant challenges. Unlike earlier silver dollar coins, the Eisenhower dollar was struck primarily in copper-nickel-clad composition, making it the first non-silver dollar coin issued for circulation. The decision to use base metals rather than silver was driven by the rising cost of silver and a shift in U.S. monetary policy. However, a 40% silver version was produced for collectors and sold in special proof and uncirculated sets from the San Francisco Mint, creating a distinction between coins meant for circulation and those intended for numismatic appreciation. By the time the 1977 Eisenhower dollar was struck, the series had been in circulation for 6 years, but it had struggled to gain widespread public acceptance. The large size and weight of the coin made it impractical for everyday transactions, and many Americans preferred to use paper dollar bills instead. As a result, Eisenhower dollars often found themselves sitting in bank vaults rather than circulating actively in commerce. Despite these challenges, the 1977 issue remained important because it was part of the final regular mintage of the series before the Eisenhower dollar was discontinued in 1978 in favor of a smaller and more practical dollar coin, the Susan B. Anthony dollar. This transition marked a turning point in U.S. coinage, as the government sought to encourage the use of dollar coins while moving away from the large-sized format that had proved unsuccessful. The design of the 1977 Eisenhower dollar remained consistent with previous issues. The obverse, created by Frank Gasparro, featured a portrait of Dwight D. Eisenhower facing left, with the word Liberty inscribed above his head. Below Eisenhower's chin, the national motto, "In God We Trust," was prominently displayed, and the date, 1977, appeared at the bottom. The simplicity and strength of this design reflected Eisenhower's stature as both a military leader and a statesman. On the reverse, Gasparro's artwork paid tribute to the Apollo 11 moon landing of 1969, a defining moment in American history. The image depicted a bald eagle landing on the lunar surface, carrying an olive branch in its talons as a symbol of peace. This design was based on the Apollo 11 mission patch, linking the Eisenhower dollar to one of the most significant achievements of the 20th century. Surrounding the eagle were the inscriptions United States of America and $1, along with the phrase E pluribus unum. The minting process of the 1977 Eisenhower dollar took place at three facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark; the Denver Mint, D mint mark; and the San Francisco Mint, S mint mark. While the Philadelphia and Denver mints struck the standard copper-nickel-clad versions for circulation, the San Francisco Mint produced special proof versions for collectors. Unlike earlier years, there was no 40% silver version of the Eisenhower dollar in 1977, as the government had discontinued the silver collector issues after 1974. Despite its limited time in circulation, the 1977 Eisenhower dollar remains popular among collectors today. Its appeal lies not only in its connection to Eisenhower and the Apollo 11 landing, but also in its status as one of the final issues of the series. Collectors seek out high-grade examples of this coin, especially those in MS65 or higher, as well as proof versions with deep cameo contrast. The value of a 1977 Eisenhower dollar depends on several factors, including its condition, mint mark, and whether it is a proof or business strike. In circulated condition, these coins are generally worth face value, but in uncirculated or high-grade condition, they can command premiums among collectors. Certain errors and varieties have also emerged over the years, adding to the intrigue of this coin. Some of the most sought-after errors include off-center strikes, double die varieties, and planchet defects. Coins with these anomalies often fetch significant premiums at auction, as collectors prize them for their uniqueness and rarity. As time goes on, the legacy of the 1977 Eisenhower dollar continues to grow. While it may not have been widely used in commerce during its time, it remains a beloved piece of American numismatic history, representing a transitional period in U.S. coinage. Whether found in a collection, stored away in a drawer, or displayed in a numismatic exhibit, this coin serves as a lasting tribute to one of America's great leaders and a milestone achievement in space exploration. For collectors and enthusiasts alike, the 1977 Eisenhower dollar is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of an era, a reminder of the past, and a cherished piece of history that continues to captivate those who appreciate the art, history, and significance behind U.S. coinage. Top 3. The 1978 Eisenhower dollar holds a special place in American numismatic history as the final year of the Eisenhower dollar series. It marks the end of an era for the large-sized dollar coin, a format that had struggled to gain widespread public acceptance yet remained a beloved collectible among numismatists. As the last issue before the transition to the smaller Susan B. Anthony dollar in 1979, the 1978 Eisenhower dollar represents both the culmination of a decade-long experiment and the beginning of a new chapter in U.S. coinage. The story of the Eisenhower dollar begins in 1971, when the U.S. Mint introduced the first dollar coin since the peace dollar ceased production in 1935. This coin was created to honor Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States, who had passed away in 1969. Eisenhower was not only a respected military leader, having served as Supreme Allied Commander during World War II, but also a two-term U.S. president known for his leadership during the Cold War era. Unlike its predecessors, the Eisenhower dollar was not made of silver for general circulation. Instead, it was struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, reflecting the U.S. government's decision to phase out silver from circulating coinage due to rising costs. However, collector versions of the coin were struck in 40% silver from 1971 to 1974, providing numismatists with an opportunity to own a silver Eisenhower dollar even as the general public used the base metal version. Throughout the 1970s, the Eisenhower dollar faced difficulties in circulation. Its large size and weight made it impractical for everyday transactions, and most Americans preferred using paper dollar bills instead. The coin was widely used in casinos, particularly in Las Vegas, where slot machines required large dollar tokens, but outside of gambling establishments, the Eisenhower dollar struggled to find a permanent place in commerce. By 1978, the U.S. Mint and Congress recognized that a smaller dollar coin was needed to encourage wider use. Discussions had already begun about replacing the Eisenhower dollar with a more compact and lightweight design, leading to the eventual introduction of the Susan B. Anthony dollar in 1979. This decision meant that the 1978 Eisenhower dollar would be the final issue of its kind, making it a significant piece of numismatic history. The design of the 1978 Eisenhower dollar remained unchanged from previous years. The obverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, featured a left-facing portrait of Dwight D. Eisenhower, with the word Liberty above his head. Below his chin, the phrase "In God We Trust" was prominently displayed, while the date 1978 appeared at the bottom. The clean and simple design emphasized Eisenhower's strong and dignified presence, reflecting both his military service and his presidency. On the reverse, Gasparo's artwork honored the Apollo 11 moon landing, one of the greatest achievements in American history. The design depicted a bald eagle descending onto the lunar surface, clutching an olive branch in its talons as a symbol of peace. This imagery was taken directly from the Apollo 11 mission patch, reinforcing the connection between the Eisenhower dollar and America's pioneering achievements in space exploration. The inscriptions "United States of America, E Pluribus Unum," and $1 encircled the majestic eagle, completing the design. The minting process for the 1978 Eisenhower dollar took place at 3 facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark; the Denver Mint, D mint mark; and the San Francisco Mint, S mint mark. The Philadelphia and Denver mints struck the standard copper-nickel-clad versions for circulation, while the San Francisco Mint produced proof versions for collectors. Unlike earlier years, there were no 40% silver issues in 1978, as the Mint had discontinued silver Eisenhower dollars after 1974. While the 1978 Eisenhower dollar was produced in large numbers, it was the final issue, making it particularly desirable among collectors. As the last year of the series, many numismatists sought to preserve these coins in uncirculated condition, anticipating their future significance. The value of the 1978 Eisenhower dollar depends on several factors, including mint mark, condition, and whether it is a proof or business strike. In circulated condition, these coins are generally worth face value, but in higher grades, MS65 or above, they command a premium among collectors. The San Francisco proof issues, especially those with deep cameo contrast, are particularly sought after due to their stunning visual appeal. Certain errors and varieties have also surfaced over the years, adding to the intrigue of the 1978 Eisenhower dollar. Some of the most valuable errors include off-center strikes, double dies, and planchet defects, which can make specific coins worth significantly more than their standard counterparts. As time goes on, the legacy of the Eisenhower dollar continues to grow, and the 1978 issue remains a crucial part of its story. It represents the end of an era, the last time the U.S. Mint produced a large-sized dollar coin for circulation, before moving to the smaller and ultimately short-lived Susan B. Anthony dollar. For collectors, the 1978 Eisenhower dollar is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of American history, technological achievement, and numismatic evolution. Whether found in an old collection, tucked away in a drawer, or displayed in a prestigious numismatic exhibit, this coin serves as a lasting reminder of an era when the U.S. dollar was once big, bold, and unmistakably American.